Beautiful souls, hello and welcome back to Subconscious Food. If you're new around here, Subconscious Food gives you the tools, techniques and tips that you need to empower yourself to live a happy, fulfilled and abundant life. Today we're talking about affirmations, and the reason why we're talking about affirmations is because it's such a powerful way to reprogram and rewire our subconscious, which is the state of consciousness that we're focusing on today. Let's get straight onto the video. So, if you remember from our previous videos, I'll stick them up there. We learned that our subconscious is most programmable when we're in a theta brainwave state. Because most of us are over 7 years old at the moment, the two times which we are in a theta brainwave state is just when we're waking up and just before we drift off to sleep. So naturally our brain gets into that mode. There are also tracks, binaural beats that you can play which can help get your brain into a theta brainwave state if you select a theta binaural beat, and that's the other way that you're able to get into that mode. We also learned that our subconscious is most programmable with repetition and emotion to reprogram and rewire the neural pathways in our brain. If we think about it for just a moment, the reason why we form habits is because we continually will do and repeat the same thing, usually with an added emotion that we're unconsciously aware of. And we do this repeatedly, forming and strengthening a certain neuro pathway in the brain. So how can we use what we know about subconscious reprogramming with repetition and emotion to supercharge our affirmations? What we can do is we can add in an element of truth and an emotion attached to it. Okay, so this is how it works. I know this is a really different way of writing out your affirmations, but this is going to really supercharge your manifestation and help you to rewire maybe some of those much more deep-rooted belief systems that just no longer serve you anymore. So what you're going to be doing, step number one, is you are going to be using a past, a present and a future truth within the structure of your affirmation. Let's use an example of happiness. So say you wanted to write out some affirmations to bring in an abundance of happiness into your life. Your past could be, I used to find it very hard to be happy. Your present could be, now I'm deciding to change the way I think and be grateful for the abundance of happiness in my life. And your future could be, from this point forward, I am going to be happy no matter what happens. It's an absolute affirmation that no matter what, you are happy. Let's do another example. Let's do an example for money. Past, I used to feel lack and limitation when it comes to money. Now I'm deciding to embrace and be grateful for the abundance of money coming into my life. Future, I am a divine being, abundant of all resources, including being a strong magnet for money. So let's look at our formula. We've got a past truth plus a present truth plus a future truth equals new belief. So the next part is all about adding emotion. Now, if you haven't practiced how it would feel to have happiness and money in your life, I suggest drawing out a table. Your table could look a little something like this. Now, what you're going to have is you're going to have statement 1, 2, and 3, and next to each of those you're going to have what it feels like with all of those statements. Now with statement 1 and 2, the past and the present, you don't want to be adding excited emotions to those when it comes to things like lack and limitation and things you don't want to attract in to your life. You want to be in a state of neutrality, in a state of this used to be me, and you accept it as such. But statement 3, you want to really amp up those emotions. You want to feel as if you were experiencing abundance of wealth right now. What would that feel like? What would an abundance of happiness feel like? If you need to think of a set point of when you were last feeling that way so that you can help describe those emotions, think back to one of the happiest times of your life and use that as inspiration to supercharge your emotions. The more you remember about how you feel, the more and the quicker your manifestation is going to occur, and the quicker these affirmations are going to be impressed upon your subconscious exactly where you need them to be, so they can keep replaying themselves in your subconscious as you sleep, so you manifest while you sleep. Some other techniques that you can use whilst you're repeating these affirmations, if you're doing it during the daytime, what you can do is you can do these 3 layers of affirmations, past, present, and future, in front of the mirror, so you can look directly at yourself, and that's going to really help impress upon your subconscious as well. Whilst you're doing it, you can do some diaphragmatic breathing. Fill your stomach up with air, and then as you exhale, push out that air from the stomach. And the reason why these deep inhalations are so effective is because the subconscious is going to respond to that. It's going to take notice of you breathing in such a way that is slightly out of sync with you just normally breathing, the normal neuro pathway that's being activated, that normal way of looking yourself in the mirror. Right, your pro tips to supercharge and enhance this affirmation practice when you are repeating these affirmations to yourself. If you're doing it during the day, you can place your hand over your heart center and you can get into that heart-centered place and state of mind. If you like, you can also use a rose quartz crystal to really enhance those love vibes. As we mentioned earlier on, repetition is so powerful in impressing new habits and new things upon your subconscious. So you want to be repeating these affirmations on a daily basis. If we used what we learned in the previous videos, you want to do it just before going to bed and just as you're waking up. And of course you can stick on a theta binaural beat whilst you do and repeat these affirmations to get into that state of mind. Guys, I can't wait to hear all of your manifestation success stories, so do remember to comment down below how you thought this technique went for you and what are some of your successes that you can share with all of us. And don't forget, the whole purpose of affirmations is to change the story that we tell ourselves about ourselves. Because if we remember back to maybe when you may have inherited some of the belief systems that no longer serve you, they are continually just stories that you tell yourself about yourself. So the whole purpose to rewire and reprogram is to create some new stories that actually work for you. I am so grateful for all your subscriptions, so do subscribe if you haven't already. I hope you've enjoyed this video. I've enjoyed sharing this information with you immensely. So until next time, namaste, bye.